So I'm going to be talking to you today about some of the events and some of the main points of what really started the Civil War and the different causes. I want to give you all a better understanding of just the different the different issues and main events that caused the start of the Civil War and the Union to join or form. I learned this in my history 1300 class this year at Hardin-Simmons, and it was pretty interesting to me, and that's why I decided to do my speech over it. In my speech, I'll tell you about the main viewpoints of the Northerners and the Southerners in the economy in the South. So I'm going to start off with giving you all a quote from Abraham Lincoln, and it said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." And he said this on June 16th, 1858. And I just thought that was a good starting point because he's talking about the United States and how it wasn't stable and how there was lots of tension during this time. And I want to start off by saying that the North didn't really need to rely on slavery as much as the South did, and that's why there was a lot of tension and just different viewpoints. The North was more urbanized, and there were more job opportunities for the average person that didn't really have to rely on farming or getting crops or anything. And in the South, it was very different. They relied heavily on slavery to produce the amount of crops and products that they needed to maintain a stable economy. So basically, one of the main factors of the start of the Civil War was the economy. And this was because with that being the economy, slavery was a big issue because the North didn't want that because they didn't need that to have a stable economy. But the South really did need that because that's how they were able to sell as many crops as they did and produce as much stuff as they did. The future of slavery is since the North and the South couldn't come to terms about its new territories acquired by the United States, which would be slave states or free states. It really put a strain on the already unstable United States, which led to the creation of the Union. And then one of the big things that really was the main event that led to the Civil War was the election of Abraham Lincoln. He was the first Republican candidate that won the presidency. Lincoln's supporters came from the North because they had the Republican views were not accepted by the South. And then after he was sworn in as president, Lincoln refused to accept any resolutions that would result in Southern secession from the Union. And that's when the Civil War began weeks into Lincoln's presidency with the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter. And now y'all have a better understanding of what events led to the Civil War. And yeah, thank y'all for listening.